That feeling you get when you wake up and see that the Calgary Stampeders and Hamilton Tiger Cats are in first place in the CFL. Coming up next on the Rouge, White, and Blue CFL podcast. Welcome to the Rouge, White, and Blue CFL podcast. My name's Oz Davis. I'm the co-host of the show. And joining me, as always, is my co-host, Joe Pritchard. Joe, how is it going this week?
It's just unfortunate that there's no song talking about partying like it's 2014, like the CFL standings seem to be doing right now.
No, my God. Yeah. Who did the Ticats have at quarterback in those days? In any case, right. So we've got one more week of the CFL in the book. Short week, 3 games this week only. However, we said going in that this might answer a lot of questions, and I don't know. Do you feel like your questions are answered, Joe?
I feel like we're like a third of the way through the season already somehow. Not quite, but and we're over the quarter mark, so we have some idea of what's happening now. Mm-hmm. Mind you, that doesn't translate to my pick'em score. So
I was going to save the pick'em chatter until later on in the show when we pick next week's games. But
no, so far I'm right 52% of the time, so we're okay there.
52. Wow. Actually, that's not. If you want to make money betting on sports by the American methodology with a VIG, i.e., if you want to do that, you have to win about 54% to break even, technically speaking, because the house has the edge, right? The house always
I'm just 10%. Thankful I don't bet on this.
So, yep. There you go. Because right now you'd be pulling out your hair. You'd be down about $10 on the year.
I don't have enough hair to be pulling out. So,
oh, we're getting at that point. I get a strange feeling about a couple of things. Like you said, we're only about a third of the way through the season, but I feel like we know who the 3 non-playoff teams might be. At least 2 of them, I would say. And I still think we can't figure out the stamps. You said that, okay, I'm going to get right into the pick'em. All right. You said that you're at 52% in pick'em. What are you on the stamps?
0-5.
0-5?
0-5.
Wow. So you'd be what, like around 15? No, not even 15. Like what? 10-5 without them?
Yeah, I'd be reasonable
in this area.
It's just, I didn't see them coming. The one time I picked them, they lost in the rain to Ottawa, which lowered my expectations. Then they go Winnipeg, Saskatchewan, which are the 2 teams I had top of the charts, and also on the road to Saskatchewan. So, I mean, like logically, those picks made sense, but clearly that didn't work out very well for me.
Okay. Do we already know that Edmonton's not going to make the playoffs?
Yes.
Okay. Do we already know that? Sorry? Good.
We'll get into why when we talk about the game.
Yeah. And do we already know that Ottawa's not going to make the playoffs? Because, okay.
Less convinced of that simply because they have a proven quarterback. Toronto's not great. And they also have the automatic tiebreaker on whoever would play the crossover, which probably is going to be BC from the looks of it, right? Although that's not a guarantee either.
Oh, well, we'll talk about Saskatchewan going forward pretty soon.
I wasn't even picking on Saskatchewan. Like I'll openly pick on Saskatchewan when I want to. That was more of a reference to BC might just get hot because they have Nathan Rourke, and Nathan Rourke seems to be playing well. So
seems to be playing well. Yeah, he had one of the marquee games of the league last week, for sure. It didn't. It wasn't as flashy as he has been in the past, but statistically speaking, and just performance-wise, wow, that was one of the best games of the week this week. But let's talk about some of this week's games. Let's talk about all three of this week's games. Week started off slowly. Calgary Stamps 24, Saskatchewan Roughriders 10. After what, a 20-hour air quality delay? Now, okay, I feel like we've seen this before in the CFL because of wildfire. Was that the case this time? I mean, do we even know? Somehow I missed this bit, and I can't seem to find it online. Why? Why was there an air quality delay?
it was smoke. Like we had the
fire?
same thing where I'm at, just like the next day.
Okay.
So there was just a good plume of smoke, and it decided to sit right on top of Regina, and the wind stopped like right around game time. Like they were expecting it to blow away, so they delayed the game a little bit, and then the wind stopped, and it just sat there.
Okay.
And then it's like, well, it's time for bed. Maybe we better figure out like how we go about this, right?
It's time for bed. It's like so this thing is supposed to start at 2 a.m. Central European time. For stupid reasons, I woke up at 4 that morning, 4 a.m. Turn on the CFL.ca/plus, and it's like 0-0. Okay, come on now. The Riders offense is certainly not 0 watt. They put up like 32 points last week or whatever. And so it just turns out it was this delay. Got delayed until the following day due to air quality, as Joe explains, because of fires. Okay, so as Joe also said, Joe, you're 0-5, picking the Stamps to win this year, Stamps games this year, let's say. And you're not even betting. We're not even talking about the point spread. This is just straight up to win the game. Thank God I'm not betting on these guys. And I was thanking the gods that you don't bet on these games, Joe. Because, okay, before the game, I picked him. I picked him on this show to win this game, at least cover the spread. And, but going into the game, Trevor Harris is coming back for the Riders. Okay, that might swing the game. You get this air quality delay, and I thought for sure this was going to be an advantage for the Riders.
Yeah, because the Riders go home and sleep in their own beds, and Calgary is spread all over town.
Right. They were talking about how some of those guys were living in a college dorm during this delay. You figured it would be on that. Nope. Stamps come out firing all 4 cylinders. Riders look terrible. Should I pick on the Riders, Joe?
Go ahead. Okay, I'm not going to stop you from doing that.
Okay. I'm going to pick on the Riders. Well, some of the notes that I had. For example, okay, so the last couple of weeks we've been saying how good the Riders' offensive line how good the Riders' offensive line had looked this year. Well, not in this game. I mean, they could not block for the run block in this game at all. Okay. 7 carries for 12 yards running by running backs. Okay. Not including the one, sneak by Tommy Stevens. Just could not block the run. AJ Ouellette finished the game instead with 6 catches for 56 yards, 52 of them yards after the catch. So again, if you're trying to hit the line in Saskatchewan in this game, you're going nowhere. For some reason, just fell apart. I don't know if you saw it, Joe, but over there in the Shotgun Sports Network, in the chat room, somebody asked, I guess rhetorically speaking, how Trevor Harris could throw for 425 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, and still, lead his team to 10 points. Well, I mean, in my opinion, that's the Trevor Harris experience, right?
I mean, the last 10 years have said the same thing, right? Weren't we talking about him in Ottawa, and Ottawa just like always being like 8-9-1 and always like leaving touchdowns on the board? Like Lewis Ward got good for a reason, right? He had plenty of practice.
Yep. Oh my God. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean, we had him in Montreal. He was our guy for a year in Montreal. I mean, I've seen this. Great stats, not necessarily a W, right?
Like I don't even remember that. Like for some reason that just like doesn't exist in my head.
Yeah. Not too many people are talking about what the 2018 Montreal Alouettes.
I can't even picture that right now.
Wow. Okay. Well, the Riders, I just felt like I'm not sure why they came out so flat. Nothing was working for the Riders. One wonders if this is a blueprint going forward. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I'm no expert on the X's and O's, but I could not. I watched this game a couple of times in the end and could not figure out what had happened here. So maybe it's just an off game for the Riders. Maybe a bit too sluggish after the bye, plus the extra day. In any case, now the Riders have taken their first loss of the season. Already they're in second place in the West. And most importantly, it looks like they're going to be without Mario Alford for a little while.
Yeah, and that's one of their big weapons.
Right.
The way the league is going this year, returns are going to swing games. It's going to be a big deal. So if you lose a guy that is quality, that's going to hurt.
Mm-hmm. Week after week, we're talking about these kickoff returns, these punt returns for touchdowns, the $1 million winner last week. We've been talking about this kind of stuff. And yet, week-to-week basis, Mario Alford is still the top returner in the league. Yeah, and so even in a year when special teams are a highlight, this guy is a stud, and now the Riders are without him. And that was one, aside from the turnovers, which, they still have a -8 turnover differential for the year, but, winning the turnover battle did them no good against Calgary. So that doesn't necessarily mean anything. They, the one advantage that they really had was in the special teams, and now that's gone. So I would say that on your power rankings, the Riders are moving down. They got the down arrow going on right now.
Well, given they were undefeated, they're probably number one in a lot of power rankings. So it just stands to reason.
Right. Okay. Yep. Just saying. Just warming up. So I'm counting on another L by the Riders next week as well. Sneak preview. Let's see. Okay, so on the other side, I mean, you got to give it up for Vernon Adams. Wow. Again, you don't want to be live betting this game. On the very first play from scrimmage for the Stamps, he throws a pick. Throws another touchdown away in the second quarter. Man, in the end zone. Interception. Yet, came through, won the game. Stamps look like, they're in first place in the West, and they really look like a great team.
Yeah, and the defense is a lot better than anybody was giving them credit for. They played 5 games. They've only given up 91 points. Winnipeg's second in the league at 94, and they played one less game. that defense is helping things stand up. And 140 points scored is also in the conversation, right? They're not number one in the league, but they're there. They're reasonable, right? Yeah.
Well, nobody expected this. Nobody
No.
expected this out of them. I mean, again, they were the vogue pick preseason to be fifth in the West. You know,
like the big question we had coming into the season was, hey, can VA drag them to 500? Well, let's just remember they also got themselves a defense in the offseason and nobody noticed. Least of all me. Least of all me. I will be very clear on that. I mean, just listen to the past season of the show since we started back up in May. Yeah. Nope, didn't see that coming.
No, not at all. I mean, we knew that, or at least I suspected that the weakness would be in the skill positions for on the offense, so-called skill positions on the offense.
And there's a little bit more talent there than I give them credit for, but
not no, they're getting there. I mean, they're going to have the rookie of the year. They have the rookie of the year right now. I mean, in the receiving core. Alford. Yeah, but the other Alford.
But if you were going to name, if I told you to name 10 CFL receivers that were healthy right now in week 2, right? Like Reggie Bagleton went out week 1. If I'd asked you in week 2, name 10 CFL receivers, would you have named a Calgary Stampeder?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Were we still clear on who their receivers were at that point? I mean, Bagleton was out, right? That was the thing.
Bagleton was out. Dominique Rhymes is there, so maybe you would have mentioned him. I don't think I would have, just going through like all the talent that's all over the league right now.
Well, Dominic Rhymes was not getting targeted. Rhymes was not. He has never felt like a part of this offense this year. And I felt like that was the thing. Is I felt like after Bagleton went out, there was a run of 3 games there where there didn't seem to be an obvious target on the offense. Like it was as though there were no plays built in the playbook for anybody else, including Dominic Rhymes. So, but now they've actually, hey, we've got some guys who can catch the ball. So scary going forward. I mean, honestly, I very few people except our man Jason on the Stampeders herd.
No, Stampeders Roundup. It's the Elks call by the Elks herd.
Okay.
For your Shotgun Sports Network college.
There's a plug for the Shotgun Sports. Only our man Jason had Calgary, as I know, with a winning record, much less like the top of the West. So, and he's a little biased. Anyway, moving on. So, Hamilton Tiger Cats 23, Ottawa Redblacks 20. Now, they were talking about this before, during the fourth quarter of this game, and I went back and I looked it up. Okay, so going into this game, teams with a fourth quarter lead, okay, in the CFL season, were 19-1 before this game. All right, the one loss was last week, the previous week, I should say, when BC Lions kicked the winning field goal with 0.2 seconds on the clock. So, in other words, the longest fourth quarter comeback so far has been 8 points and was won with 0.2 seconds. Okay, until this game, right? In this game, the Ticats led the game for 2 minutes. So no lead is safe is back, Joe.
Finally.
No tiny lead, no field goal lead is safe. I'm not sure where to start on this game. I was a little bit annoyed by TSN hyping this thing up as a battle between Kenny Lawler and Chino Lewis. Somehow, such comparisons are always spurious in football anyway, because it's not like they're facing up against each other. Right, so
yeah, but you usually have like the quarterbacks where at least they have a little bit more agency about how that all plays out, right?
Well, yeah, and we're talking about Bo Levy Mitchell coming off a 5 touchdown game, so
yeah.
and yet they're playing it up like this. And all I could think is, wow, if Justin
You're
Hardy's
out of
friends.
storylines in week 6. Like, seriously, look around.
Mhm, 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 mhm. Well, yeah. Well, fair enough. Um, I mean, on the one hand, the stats look good. I mean, Lawler was awesome, 2 touchdowns.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Yeah, he's kind of good last I
yeah,
checked.
yeah. I mean, he's getting some crazy stats already this season. He's not bad. Geno Lewis was 7 catches for 128 yards, but they kept doing this and they kept showing the table and talking about this comparison and whatnot. But if I'm Justin Hardy's friends and family watching this game, I'm like, wait a minute. Our guy's one of the top receivers in the league too here. Like,
Yeah.
where's the respect? And I will say this too. Hardy only had 6 receptions, but this was on 7 targets. Geno had the 7 catches, but on 14 targets. Hardy was much more on page in this game as well. So, but in any case, I don't know. That was a note I made. I didn't, yeah, I didn't think that was such the great story of the game because it was wild. Here it is the week after Hamilton offense scores 5 touchdowns. Hamilton's special team scores 2 touchdowns. I mean, in this game, defense rules, especially in that third, fourth quarter. Um, the defense is constantly bailing out the offense, which couldn't do nothing. You kept waiting for Bo Levy Mitchell to get things going in this game.
Or for Drew Brown to finish things off, right?
Well, yeah. I felt like Drew kept self-destructing. It was just couldn't finish it off. Again, Drew had some nice statistics, but could not convert that into points. This year, it seems like the economical game at quarterback is what's winning games. Um, Fewer passes, but way higher accuracy.
Yep. And having
These
your
are
defense give you the ball in good shape and not letting the other team run wild on you. I mean, it feels like if you're asking your quarterback to put up big numbers, you're in trouble.
Mhm.
Like it's almost like the winning teams have adopted the Winnipeg way of things, where it's
Mhm.
yeah, great, you can get some big numbers from your quarterback from time to time, but defense and hold the ball and just
Mhm.
you know Brady ball, right?
Right. Um, yeah, and I wanted to give some kudos to the Ticats defense in this game. I mean, I hate to admit it, but Jamal Peters had the 2 picks. Good for him. Reggie Stubblefield, again, they made a lot out of him in the TSN game. His first game in 400 plus days or whatever after playing with the Owls and getting injured previously. He had a great game. 7 tackles from the line, from the linebacker spot. Right. And I made a note of that. I thought that was important because Ottawa wasn't able to exploit that second level, like they had against Toronto, like they had against Calgary.
Yeah, because it seems like Ottawa's game plan is get the ball out of Drew Brown's hands fast,
Uh-huh.
get
Uh-huh.
and have the receivers go for try to break the big play.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, you saw this happen towards the end of the game, right? Okay, so they have the ball. They got to score the touchdown to get into this game, right? And at this point, the Ticats are just dropping everybody into coverage. They're not going to let these receivers burn them. Okay, so first down. Okay, make one of these gritty passes. To my guy. Oh man, it is too early for doing this. Throwing it to I just talked about him a
Justin
minute ago.
Hardy.
Yeah, Hardy. Throws it to Hardy, no problem. Tries to double coverage, still makes the catch. Right. Yeah, the next play, throws it to Geno, double coverage, no good. third down and long, throws it to Gino, no good. End of game, double coverage, right? So they left them with few options once they established the fact that they were going to kill the run coming past that line if it got past the line. It was done. The Red Blacks are, again, this is a one-dimensional team. You got Pimpleton. Pimpleton's another example, right? Here he is. He runs one back for the touchdown. It gets called back on the illegal block. The next time he gets the punt return, he blows the punt. He's out of position, can't get the ball, drops the ball. Right? Fumble, turnover, Max Bonteen recovers it. So, I mean, the Red Blacks are too one-dimensional to compete right now. And as poorly as the Ticats offense played, it was still enough.
They lack killer instinct too. They had so many chances to put this game away. They just decided not to, right? Mm-hmm. I guess my question is, we have a rematch next week in Ottawa. Shit. If Hamilton wins, is that it for Bob Dice?
Wow. Interesting supposition. Do they pull the plug this early in the season? Wow. Okay. All right.
Well, if you think about it hard, they started off last year like a house on fire. About midway through, they did like the Drew Brown got nicked up, and the wheels fell off.
Yeah.
And they haven't been the same since about mid-season last year. And Ottawa fans are just tired of this. They've seen this movie before. Like, you almost need to do something to tell your fan base we're trying.
Okay. Wow.
I don't know. I'm not the expert, but it just doesn't seem like it's going the right direction right now.
Wow. Okay. No, something to watch out for because I was looking at that game today.
Yeah, because after that you have a bye too,
right?
And you also have Rick Campbell on the bench, right? So you have your interim plan figured out too.
Well, you're really connecting. You're connecting the dots on this one.
Well, and it also better not be your plan for 2026 because they've seen that movie before too. You got to do something to get your fans back engaged, right? Like Edmonton's got that problem too, but we'll get into that more in a few minutes. But like they don't have an easy thing to do right now because they just went through an overhaul, right? Now what?
Yeah. Okay, so final game of the week was BC Lions 32, Edmonton Elks 14, and really 7.
The score flattered Edmonton.
Jesus, even losing by 18. Wow, kind of a wire-to-wire game here. Again, I feel like Edmonton kind of looks like Ottawa in their two-dimensionality, but even more so. The first drive really told the story. So really set the pace for the Elks offense, such as it was. I mean, two flashy plays by Trey Ford, two 15-yard runs approximately, right? First downs, both of them. Great. But that's only because the play was failing, right? These aren't designed runs. And automatically, as soon as you saw that first drive, I mean, if BC defense can shut you down like this early, it's just wow. It's going to be a long day for Elks fans. I wanted to say that, of course, the gut reaction here is to react to how Ford was pulled, replaced by Cody Fajardo, but I'm not sure you can totally put this on Trey Ford in this game.
No, because Edmonton's defense also no-showed, right?
Oh, my God.
This was a total team effort. Andrew over at the Terp District writes for 3 Down Nation after every game, and I believe one of the lines he used was, "This might have been the worst game he's seen that team play in at least a long while," right?
Yeah. I mean, you are absolutely correct. The defense was invisible. I mean, this is Just, I mean,
it's the worst defense in the league. They can't get any turnovers. Well, they got the one that they almost gave right back.
Right. Right.
They don't get any pass rush. They don't get turnovers. They're worst in the league for points given up. Well, they're not, but they're not going to throw up 3 in game 6 to tie Ottawa, right? Like Ottawa's got 6 games and they've given up 173. Edmonton's got 5 and they've given up 170. So they aren't going to have a 3-pointer next week. That's for sure.
Right.
Well, they're not going to have any points next week because they're on a bye. But after that, like
right, no. In the next game,
if they give up only 3 in a game this year, something went terribly wrong for the other team.
Nice. Yep. Defense no showed. Got some great numbers for you. I hope you were playing your BC Lions in fantasy ball this week.
No, I went heavy on Hamilton.
Oh man.
I mean, that felt like a little bit more of a guarantee, right? Against the bad defense. Well,
yeah, but coming off the 5 touchdown week, I'm starting to think I got to remember to fade this more often. Because it's like, the numbers have to balance out. Similar thing happened with Zach Collaros, right? Had the monster game, and then the following week, no, he's not going to have the monster game again. Very hard to string together a couple of monster games in this league.
Yeah, Calgary had something to say about that too.
Exactly. But Nathan Rourke, fantastic game, 26 of 30, 345 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did throw the 1 interception, but 30 passes, okay? Edmonton defense couldn't stop the run. James Butler, 30 carries, 172 yards, 207 total yards. I mean, you're allowing 30 pass attempts and 30 rushing attempts? Wow. I mean, just...
That was BC.
You might as well have a script.
That was BC going, we can get you either way we want to. Let's just get out of here with the win and not embarrass you that badly.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Edmonton.
I mean, it was like a practice.
It was like 42 minutes of time of possession. That's like almost 3 quarters.
Yeah. I mean,
that's also has to do with 6 2 and outs on Edmonton's side, but yeah.
Well, yeah. But, I mean, they couldn't get anything going anywhere in this game. I mean, I don't understand what happened on the offensive side. I've been looking at this running game for Edmonton since last season. I kind of like what they have, but...
Well, BC realized early that Trey Ford couldn't hit anything. So
I guess
they just said, okay, we're going to stack up against the run and make Trey beat us. And Trey didn't have it.
Which he could not.
No. He'd been climbing the ladder. Every game was better than the last until this game was one of those that you just burn the tape and go, let's start fresh.
Well, yeah, except there's consequences, right? I mean, you mentioned the turnover before. That was Jake Ceresna, who had quite the crazy game. But, that little fluky interception that bounced off a helmet was the Elks' first interception of the season. Now he's out. He was taken out of the game. He's not going to play for a while, it looked like. I mean, to the untrained eye, they're carting the dude off. Yeah, he might not play for a while. Javon Leake was in there. Now, he had missed some practices last week. Got 3 touches this week for 2 yards. Ended up leaving the game. So far, he's been a DNP at practice this week. Justin Rankin, who had the crazy game last week. 4 touches for 4 yards. And as far as I can tell, there's no injury issue here. So
no, it's just they weren't in a position to run the ball anymore, right? When you get down that fast, that early, and it's not working, you abandon it.
Yeah, it was quite the unfortunate turn of events for Edmonton. And like I say, I think there's ramifications here. So, which is not what Edmonton wants to deal with right now. But it's just going to be a litany of bad news for Edmonton if we continue on this path. So probably should not
Well, I mean, if you're Edmonton right now, you're sitting there going, okay, that was not great.
Mhm.
Nothing this season has been great except for we scored a little bit more than Ottawa did last week. Um, I think you gotta. I mean, if you're sitting there going, "What do we do next?" Right now, the answer is nothing
Mhm.
because you've changed the GM, you've changed the coach, you've changed the quarterback. You have the quarterback the fans were clamoring for. You have to see what you have in him before you go with the veteran that's been multiple places. Again, I'm saying Labor Day plus for Trey Ford as the guy. Yes, take him out when he's having a really bad game like he is and give Cody some playtime, give Trey a breather, right? That's fine. But I don't want to hear anything about Cody Fajardo starting a game until after Labor Day because you got to know if Trey is your guy for the future. If he's not, you've got Cody until you find that next guy. But you have this much time invested in Trey now that he's been sitting there. You've been seeing what he can do. You've had multiple coaches around. You've had multiple GMs around. It's like figure out what you have with him. You're clearly not making the playoffs in the West this year because the West decided to get really, really good again, right?
Mhm.
So this is year one of the new Edmonton Elks. Find out what you got. You've been on this path before,
Mhm.
but the worst thing you can do right now is try to like push it along too fast. You got to let Ed Hervey and Mark Killam build the team that they want to have. Chris Jones had 3 years to build his team. It didn't work out.
Mhm. Mhm.
Understood.
Mhm. Yeah.
But you can't give this team one. You can't give this group 1 year and then try something brand new in the next year. You got to find out what you got this year, so you're poised in February and May to make good decisions to raise you up next year.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I hate to preach patience for Edmonton fans because they've been nothing but patient for the last 6 years. Sorry. I mean, you can either be patient or you can do this whole thing again over and over again. Your call.
Right. Okay. All right. So, um, all right. Let's move into the next week of games. All right. I have the lines here. There's some strange things going on with one of these games. In fact, it's the first game. We've got three teams coming off of bye. Here are two of them. The Toronto Argonauts are at the Montreal Alouettes. Now, what would you say the line is on this game, Joe?
You said it's
You said,
strange. So I'm going to say
yeah.
Montreal like -1.5 or something silly.
Oh no, no. Strange the other way. Here's the thing. Okay, so I'm looking at one, two, three, four shops right now, four lines, and Montreal seems to be 4.5 point favorites, but then there's a bunch of other sports books here that are offering 8.5. So
Hmm.
somewhere between 4.5 and 8.5 is
Somebody
your
knows
line for this
Toronto's
game.
defense this year.
Sure. Okay, now I've got to go with Montreal for the pick 'em.
Me too.
Coming out of the bye, Toronto is not ready for this. If Montreal's up for the game, I mean, do we know if Davis Alexander is playing?
I don't know that, but I know Chad Kelly is still in Buffalo, so that's not going to help Toronto right now.
Yeah, but at this point, Jesus, I don't know if we can win with Bethel Thompson. However, against Toronto at home in Montreal, okay. I don't think that.
Well, if Ethel Thompson can't win that game, find yourself a new backup because
Okay.
he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing if he can't pull this one out.
Uh huh. All right. So great. All right. Let's have an Alouettes win this week. Let's get back on track. And speaking of teams coming off the bye, Calgary goes to Winnipeg. Winnipeg's the favorite. By how much?
3.5.
4.5.
Okay,
Nice.
not too
Uh,
bad.
you'll take that. Okay, so Calgary, of course, is on the run. They're on the roll here. Are you scared?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, but you're not going to play against Winnipeg, right? You're not going to bet against Winnipeg.
I might as well. I mean, I'm a complete reverse
Wow.
jinx with Calgary. Plus, they're
Wow.
hot right now too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. You're gonna go with Calgary. Okay. You're
I'm
0 and
going with
5.
Calgary, especially if I'm looking at that line. I'm going, man. If I'm Calgary, I love that line too, right? Like I'm not one to throw money at things, but that's one that has my attention.
Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Um. Okay, but you're 0 and 5 on Calgary games. So, do
Right.
I fade you? Is the question.
Probably should.
Just to make it interesting, I'll take the W. I'll take the W. You have the flag, but I'll take Winnipeg for
Yeah.
the win here.
Maybe I'm being
Why not?
slightly pessimistic on Winnipeg on that, but that's the last time I saw them play was against Calgary, and they looked really awful. Calgary had a plan for them, and they knew what they were doing. They knew how to attack Winnipeg.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Jason Hogan's is his first year calling the plays on offense. Does he have a response? I've never seen him in this position before. I'm
Mm.
hoping the answer is yes. I think he's a good coordinator. Everything I've seen so far, minus week 5, it says, I like the way he mixes his plays up. Week 5 looked like they got in a rut. Okay, what
Mm-hmm.
happens when you get in a rut and when you have trouble? I've never seen Jason Hogan come out of that yet. I want to see him do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Right. Okay. So here we have Saskatchewan Roughriders at BC Lions. Now, here's another crazy one for you. What would you say is the line in this game?
You said crazy. BC
Yeah,
3.
not in my opinion. Uh, the Riders
Okay.
are 1.5 point favorites, which
Okay.
I
That
can't
doesn't
get
seem
around.
too
I can't
crazy.
get around.
Like if you wouldn't have
I
said
don't know.
crazy, I would have made that. I would have thought something like the Riders by 3 or something. But you just said
Wow.
crazy. So I'm
Okay.
like,
Sorry.
okay.
I didn't mean to throw you off, but I cannot see a reason to back the Riders in this game. Seriously. I don't like the Seresna injury. I don't like, the I don't I think we're back in Trevor Harris land. So I don't necessarily think that this is going to be a point scoring machine. They have been living on the big turnover all year. Well, see, I mean, Nathan Rourke threw the one interception. He threw 4 incompletions in that game, one of which was an interception again, which bounced off the helmet of a lineman. You
Yeah.
know, so I'm not sure that he's going to gift the Riders any turnovers here. But then again, maybe the numbers balance out. Regardless, I'm taking BC. I think
BC
Riders.
confuses me right now for one simple reason.
Okay.
Nathan Rourke is terrible against the Bombers historically.
Mm-hmm.
And he's awesome against Edmonton. Guess which teams he's played against this year? And we know Jeremiah Mazzoli it's no, he's not the guy as a backup anymore. It's unfortunate. I hate to say it. I feel like I've been saying it for a month straight, but yeah, no. Uh, so their game in Saskatchewan, I'm not really even factoring in because no, completely different team there.
Okay.
And then like we started seeing the signs that Nathan Rourke is still a force to be reckoned with over the past couple of weeks again, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the only game we've seen Saskatchewan play poorly this season was against Calgary, and they make a lot of teams look poor. But like, there's something tugging at me saying maybe Nathan Rourke makes 3-3 becomes 7-3 all of a sudden. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. All right. All right.
And
So
and I'm
are you
thinking
gonna go? You're gonna
I'm
go with the Riders here?
I'm thinking BC. Like my gut's telling me BC,
Okay.
but I'm wondering if I'm a week too early to hop on the Rourke bandwagon.
Well, I don't know. I think the bandwagon is pretty indefatigable with regards to BC. I think the bandwagon never lightened, to be
Sure,
honest.
but I mean, is he back basically? Because last year's version of Nathan Rourke wasn't the same as we've seen before. But what we saw before in 2022 was a half season. Like, will the real Nathan Rourke please stand up so I know what we got going here?
Yep. All right. So yeah, I'm going BC in that game for sure too. Riders' second loss. Okay. Finally,
in Regina, I might have a different opinion.
Yeah. But it's not. It's not.
It's not.
So,
Yeah.
so
It's almost like I'm trying to talk myself out of, am I being a bomber homer by picking against the Riders right now? And I'm trying to think of all the reasons why I might be, and I'm not. Nothing. There's not enough adding up to make me go, yeah, I'm being a homer. I should pick the Riders. So
no, there are times when especially on the lines, that the lines can get it wrong on the CFL. And again, I think they have it wrong here. So this game's in. The Riders are at home, so this line is like 4.5 against BC. I mean, really?
well, if you think about it, though, BC as a unit is 3-3 with a negative point differential, right?
Yeah.
But two of those losses are with Jeremiah Mazzoli as quarterback.
Yep. Right. Also, and one of the wins was the squeaker against Montreal. So,
Right.
They're not blowing anybody out, but I think that I would call them trending up right now. And I think also trending up is West crossover into the East because
Seems to be, because I'm taking Hamilton over Ottawa next week.
Right, exactly. We all know, if you watch the CFL enough, sweeping those back to backs, those home and homes is pretty difficult to do. Even at the extremes of the table. Here you have Hamilton 1.5-point favorites at Ottawa, which, again, on the gut level, you want to say, oh, Hamilton's going to blow them out. Thought they were going to blow them out last week, though, too. So really hard to sweep, and I guess that's why we're at 1.5. I mean, one of the other things that TSN made much of in the fourth quarter of this game was the fact that this is the first time the Ticats have been above 500 since the end of the season in 2022, it would have to be. Yeah. End of the season 2022. So they've basically been under 500 since kickoff 2023. And if they lose this game, they're back at 500. So do they fall back to that is one question here that I have.
They're completely capable of doing that because that's the way they roll. But Ottawa's been less than the sum of their parts all season, and I don't see that changing.
But on the other hand, Hamilton hasn't played a full game all season either. Not once has their offense and their defense had a top level game in the same game.
But you're not going to need that
against Ottawa. Wow, they're really disliking Ottawa here. So they get the sweep and Dice is out. Ticats get the sweep and Dice is out.
I don't say he's out for sure, but with Ottawa having a bye the next week and you have your interim plan in place already, I don't know how you don't, unless you want the fans to riot.
Wow.
Or worse, not show up.
Right.
Like you'll take a little bit of a annoyed fan base over a fan base that has completely given up on you, and I'm starting to see people giving up on them. So,
on Ottawa,
yeah.
I'm not surprised. 2025 Ottawa, yeah. I mean, they've already lost to every team in the East, right?
Well, and if you think about it, except for the first half of 2024, Ottawa's been a horror show since the end of 2018.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yep.
To get like a kernel of, oh, we might be good again. No, we're not that good. No.
Oops. All right. So you take. Do I really? You'll take Hamilton. Let's see. Okay. So we differed on that game. We differed on. You took BC. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'll be weak. I'll take Hamilton in this game. I'm trying to look. I'm looking for a reason to back Ottawa, but cannot. Okay.
That's where I'm at too.
Let's wrap this up.
Because if I saw a reason, knowing it's a back to back and knowing who Hamilton is, I'd have jumped on it with both feet, but I don't.
Yeah, this might be another monster Hamilton offense. Okay, right. I got to get out of here. Joe, any final words of wisdom? I love doing this to you.
Well, no. Just don't take my picks all that seriously until I start learning how to pick Calgary. That's all I have to say.
Okay, I won't. All right. For my co-host Joe Pritchard, I'm Ross Davis. This has been the Rouge White Blue CFL podcast, a production of the Shotgun Sports Network. Thanks for listening and enjoy the games. We will talk to you next week.